What it do, family? It's your girl Tamika.
Hey, girl, Shamika.
And we are back, Jack. Shout out to the family S&T squad. Drip set. What it do? You know what I'm saying?
If you are new, you should know what to do. But if you don't, I'll help you.
Smash it!
There you go. Smash that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications too, so you know if we're dropping these vids. You dig?
Look, this is all you gotta do. Is help us out. Okay, look. You help us out by doing this. Subscribing, liking the video, comment in the comment section, and watching the ads. That's all you gotta do.
Forget that part. Yeah.
You can't forget that part. I mean, because sometimes you're gonna have to go potty. So when you go potty, you just save the ads. When you gotta go potty, you'll get you some ice cream, something to drink, watch them ads. Look, man, this video right here, I'm really looking forward to. Ezee and Natalie, they're going to get therapy. Now, you know, I don't know what's going on, but people always sometimes think that when you say the word therapy, that something has to be wrong.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I mean? No, it does not have to be. No. Sometimes you're supposed to have therapy when you're at your healthiest in your relationship. Mm-hmm. It's just always good sometimes to have an outside source to be able to help you. Think about it. When it's just you and her in the house, you feel you right, she feels she right. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's hard to find a common ground. So having that third party sometimes does wonders. You know what I mean? And sometimes we just so boneheaded that we don't see the shit we do ourselves. So it's very, very good to have therapy. Yeah. So we finna go have some too, because whatever tricks they got, we gonna use. Because we go to therapy every week, don't we, baby? It's crazy. You know what I mean? She kicks me out every week. Yeah, it is. So, without further ado,
let's slide into this vid, y'all.
Let's get into the vid.
Because that passion phase is really based on the unknown.
Intimacy is just not there, and it's affecting us.
If there's a good amount of time that has gone by, like, we should be able to
have sex. I'm not going to continue to feel like I'm not being heard in this relationship.
It's not just about venting, it's about communicating.
Why does someone get upset that I'm upset?
That's what I feel like.
Calling each other names, like those type of things are not necessary if you're really trying to communicate with your partner.
There's really good news and then there's really bad news here.
Yo, this right here, this is some Dr. Phil shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But honestly, some of the things that they saying in the beginning of this video are things that affects all relationships. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of intrigued about this one. I really want to know this because a lot of people sometimes be feeling they don't get it, you know? And I can only imagine when you're a creator, right? And you're at the magnitude of them, you know what I'm saying? They have a lot of things going on, you know what I'm saying? I can only imagine how easy it could be for intimacy to kind of slip away, you know? When you get in that rut of trying to like work and trying to goddamn pay the bills, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, shawty, as much as you want to, you know what I'm saying, slam the monkeys, you know, you can't do it all the time because you be tired, exhausted, and you just rather have that sleep sometimes. So it kind of like you can get away from it. But
yeah, I don't know.
Let's see what's going on.
I'm nosy.
What's up?
Gang, 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 gang. Okay, y'all. We out here. It's a little construction going on, but we're happy to be back on our channel.
Yes, welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
If you guys missed us, we missed you. Yes.
If you didn't miss us, then
we still missed you.
You.
Yes. Guys, we've been a little absent from YouTube lately, and our personal lives need a little bit of attention. And I feel like, you know, because we're so honest with you guys, we're gonna let you guys know what's going on today.
Yeah, we decided to take a little hiatus to focus on the relationship a little bit because it was suffering.
Yeah, it was suffering. And we want to be honest, we've been taking therapy, guys. We've been doing therapy, and with that therapy, it's been helping a lot.
It has been, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I felt like it wasn't enough. At least the route that we were taking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're here today with our friend Shan. If you guys don't know who Shan is beautiful.
Sexologist. We'll let her introduce herself. Yeah.
Yes. So we're here and we're gonna get some advice, relationship.
I think I kind of want to see Shan already. Sound like my person. She's a sexologist.
Yeah, that's all I was about to say. As soon as you heard the S word, I know you was probably.
Because I know I got a problem sometimes. You know what I mean? But no, you guys, I just want people to get out of the stigma of thinking that when a person say therapy, it means the relationship is over or it means something wrong. It does not mean nothing wrong. Honestly, we need that shit. You know what I mean? You'll be surprised, like, how we were all raised to just, like, suffer in silence and it's just being labeled
the world,
weak.
Living a regular life in today's world enough is, like, stressful. You don't even got to be in a relationship. Like, you can be single and be going to therapy.
Exactly.
Like, for something.
You need it. Go get you some. Because, shoot, boy,
couple advice, and just maybe that she can help us out with some of the things that we're going through. So
Maybe you guys will take something away from it for your relationships too.
yeah, let's get it popping. You guys ready? If you're new to this channel, make sure you guys subscribe. If you're not new and you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
And turn those post notifications on so you know when we post.
Please.
Hey.
Yo, this setup is fire.
For real.
Oh, we can hug. Okay.
That's good energy.
You can definitely hug. You look beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much. This is so cool. This whole setup is fire. Yo, plans. I'm loving it.
Are you flirting so I'll take your side in this discussion?
I think
Is that
so.
the strategy?
I think that's what it is.
That's not what it is. First and
It's
foremost.
working. She's toxic.
Yes! Yes! That's what I needed. Come on. Let's go. Okay, I was a little bit scared because I honestly feel like just because they are very similar in looks, very, very, have very much similarities in their face, So I was like, she's definitely going to side with her. And it's just the eyes. So I was like, I was scared. But since you said that, I know where this is going.
Safe space.
Safe space. All right, we're here.
Hello.
We're here. I know we're all excited now, but it might get
A little serious.
a little serious.
A little serious is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for trusting me to listen in on this conversation. I'm really
Yeah.
honored by that.
Of course. Well, let's start like this. Why don't you introduce yourself so
Yes.
they know, exactly what you do and stuff before we get into
Hi,
it.
I'm Sham Boudram. I look a lot like Natalie, but we are different people.
And we're not even related.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
I talk about sex, love, and relationships for a living. I am a fan. I am a student. I am an educator. I have an educational background in psychology, sexology, and journalism, which I think just makes me professionally curious in this
Yeah.
area. But to me, it was basically came out of a place of this is one area in our life that is so important, but we invest so little time in learning, practicing, and becoming masters of because we assume that if it's right, it'll
Yeah.
just come natural.
Right.
And it just wasn't coming natural to me. So I invested a lot of time in education and thought to myself, wow, a lot of other people could benefit from this kind of information and knowledge too.
Well, I'm benefiting right now.
Okay.
She's
Very
very,
knowledgeable.
for real,
Beautiful.
she invited me and she's very inviting. You know what I'm saying?
It's a ray of
I feel like we
sunshine.
could probably work on our problems while we doing it too. You know what I mean? Whatever we feel like gravitates to us, then we gonna have to talk it out.
Talk it out.
You know what I
right.
mean? Because what is it? Shambooty?
Boudry, I think she said.
Shambooty?
It looked like booty, but I think it's
Shamboodry.
yeah, something like that.
Shamboodry. You helping us right now too at the same way.
Yeah.
So I made it my mission to make information about sex, love, and relationships accessible.
Yeah.
To make sex education sexy. And that's what brought me here to you guys today. Because I talk about this online or I talk about it wherever I possibly can. And again, like I said, I'm thrilled to talk to you.
Yeah, no, we're
Wow.
really excited about it too. And this,
Yes.
ladies and gents, is why we decided to come talk to her about it. Because
she does
we
this
know
shit.
she does this. She
Yes.
has a lot of knowledge on it. And like we, expressed to you guys,
Yeah.
our relationship has, it's been suffering a little bit.
Especially in that
recently.
area.
So, yeah, let's get into it.
Well, I
Yeah.
do want to clarify and just say that you guys invest in a therapeutic process together, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And
Start.
any therapist will tell you that the mistake a lot of couples make is they wait until it's too late to go to therapy.
Right.
And you guys are like, no, we go and we ask for help all the time.
Yes.
Now, I'm not a therapist. This is not a therapeutic session.
Right. Yeah.
This is a conversation that is led by curiosity, and I will provide insight where I can. But really, I think the best thing that I can do is just be here to be another person to be like, what about this? What about that?
Yeah, no,
So-
100%. Especially with some of the knowledge that you have, I feel like you'll have the right questions to ask.
So why are we here?
Yeah, we need help. We need help. I feel like our relationship has been suffering, and in that way, I mean our romance. Our romantic life has been suffering. We used to be very romantic in the beginning, and it was just so much spark, so much fire, and now it's work, and that intimacy is just not there, and it's affecting us, even the way we work, the way we
We had similar issues. And honestly speaking, it's still a work in progress with us because as we transition because we feel like collectively we don't even go hard on this channel or both of our channels the way that we should. So we're actually about to step it up a notch. So we're probably going to be treading waters like that because we do go through that. Sometimes you working, you trying to figure out the videos, you trying to do the thumbnails, you were trying to goddamn post it on social medias. By the time you finish, bro, the last thing you doing is trying to look for some booty. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So like, and it don't have to necessarily have to be YouTube. It could be regular jobs, you know what I mean? You after you finish taking the kids to practice, you know what I'm saying, and dropping them off at the court, and you come back home, the last thing you want to do is climb on the D. You know what I'm saying? So we get it or whatever. It's just what we've been talking about. What we got to do is just learn how to find a balance, knowing when to turn work off and turn us on. You know what I mean? No matter what, that's just what's gonna have to happen.
To each other and the way we handle each other is just, it needs a lot of attention, and we need to seek help, whether it's trying to switch it up, understanding each other's love languages or whatever, but it's just not it right now.
Yeah, and I think the good thing is that we're both very curious as to why it's not working, and we're both willing to go and seek help any way possible. Like we've been trying therapy, like talking to you who have a lot of education in this.
I don't want to be perfectly honest. I gotta ask you a question. I can't hold it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I could kind of see from an intimate level where they could probably have a little suffering, because I know that Natalie is usually with men. So
well, you mean that this is her first?
Yes.
Lesbian.
And she used to get in the D. You know what I mean? Okay. And then Ezee don't seem just like a person who would just use the D.
Who's the aggressive?
Not about aggressive, but sexually
charged.
She just don't. When I look at Ezee, I don't just see strap on Ezee. If that makes any sense. I'm being serious here, and that could probably be an issue. You know what I'm saying? If she's used to just getting a D,
right?
You know what I mean? Real.
This is a very different dynamic for her because this is her first.
So she probably don't even know how to lead and things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah.
How are you feeling the exact same way that Ezee's feeling in terms of that mojo, that sauce?
Yeah, I feel like that mojo and sauce is definitely, lacking.
A little more mild.
Yeah, it's a little mild. It was very spicy before. Now it's a little mild. And I think that we have some communication issues on my end. I feel like a big thing is like communication and how we get along in our day to day. That really does probably affect our romance, because if we're not like mentally on the same page, we're not getting along as much and stuff like that, it's not gonna make me feel that, like, it's hard for me to just let that go. If I feel like we were just arguing, now I don't really want to come over and be all on you and be kissing you and stuff like that. That's not how like my brain works.
Interesting.
What's interesting?
That? I feel like I'm that way. I'm very much that way when it comes to intimacy. Like, especially because being a woman, I feel like with at least from the guy friends that I have, even if him and his partner are arguing, or friends, they're arguing with their woman, it's like they could still have that sex. You know what I'm saying? Me, for arguing, I don't want to have it. Like, it's not turning me on. You feel me? But she complains about that. Like, oh, I feel like I'm not wanted. I feel like you don't want me enough. But it's just like, well, we're just arguing. Or when I do give it to you, or when we do have sex, you want to argue right after. Where it's just like, I'm the type of person, I'm like, yo, if we having sex, especially if it's been a long time.
Hold on, Nana. Why are you arguing after sex? Because that's a problem. Shit, nigga, y'all supposed to just put it up. Because if we argue right after we do it, I'm going to be looking at you a little suspect. Like, I just put my whole hip in it. Like, what you mad at? You ain't did no work? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I can't really, I don't know.
What's going on, Sheldon?
I'm expecting us not to argue. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I wanted to treat it like it's a reward, but it's like, dang, remember those times we could just have sex and it just feels so good after? Why the fuck are we arguing?
What's the answer to that question? What is like the root of the conflicts? Like, where's that stemming from repeatedly?
I think a lack of communication, honestly, and like not really knowing. I think comfortability. Let me just say that. I think the main issue we have in this relationship is comfortability, because I feel like the way that, you know, from speaking on my end specifically, I feel like the way, you know, that sometimes you'll be comfortable in talking to me, or just like getting so easily frustrated, or the lack of trying to court me still, that affects us so much. You know, it affects me so much. I won't say us, because I'm going to speak for myself. To the
In their defense too, it might be a little weird because like we were friends first, but we were more like associate friends. You see what I'm saying? They was like besties.
friends.
You know what I'm saying? They was like share
Best
close, best.
friends.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Easy probably is
Yeah,
so
that's
comfortable. He'd be like, bitch, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
You know,
It's probably hard. Like, there's 3 switches that they gotta turn. They gotta turn the best friend switch or whatever, and then also the relationship switch,
Yeah.
and then also
The
the
work.
business.
The work,
That's 3
yeah.
switches for them that they
Yeah.
have to like.
triggers that they got to work through.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? That's a
yeah.
lot. And then for her, it's her first.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, like
Yeah.
it's a lot of knobs they got to kind of figure out which way to turn what.
And you know what? I would say, like, I know for a fact, like, Ezee, she's very, very mature. You know what I'm saying?
Very.
But Natalie is very mature.
Oh, yeah, very.
And especially the way that she look at certain things. Like, you know what I mean? She understands that, like, a lot of the problem or a lot of fixing of any problem is going to be through communication. And the way that she always is looking for ways to communicate, like she's really an advocate of that. So
Yeah,
it's like
true.
you could just see that it's a little bit of a difference on that part.
Agreed.
point where it's like, all right, well, where is there room for romance, when I feel like, and just a normal conversation, something that should never lead to an argument, is going to lead to an argument because of the way that it's said, or the
Facts.
comfortability of like getting so easily frustrated, you know? So I feel like that's like a huge thing for me.
Difficult for you to go from conflict to sex.
Yeah.
What is the conflict?
The conflict, I think, is just, I'll get too comfortable with her, and like she was pretty much saying, and it's just like, why are you upset about that? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with her, what she does is it's like almost kind of like the same, but in different ways. She argues a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like her always having a response to something is just like not stimulating me mentally. You know what I'm saying? Which is also internally like affecting my romance in, you know, that type of way. You know? So I don't know if that answers the question.
I think so. I
Okay.
mean, I think what I hear in summary is that the fact that you guys are not communicating with each other in loving ways, or in ways that make you feel loved or desired by each other all day long, is impacting you in terms of the passion and the sexual desire in the relationship, which also causes frustration, which makes the other problems compounding.
Exactly.
Because now you go to the next day being sexually frustrated, in addition to being like, I don't like how you spoke to me.
Exactly.
So it feels like it's
I'm definitely like that. I think that's something that I know that I share.
That's
like
key.
like if I'm aggravated, like nothing on my body work. I don't want to touch your booty, nigga. If I'm aggravated, like would you really? You think I want that? Like, seriously, I want you away from me. I don't want to grab no booty and none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the switch just goes off for me. You know what I mean? Like, especially if I'm in a relationship, I can't just have sex with somebody I really care about if I'm aggravated. Because the way I want to have sex with you will require me to be like, you know what I'm saying, in tune right now with you. You know what I mean? And if we arguing, we ain't gonna connect right in no sex.
cycle.
Gonna ram your damn head
totally.
in.
And I think that we do, just to kind of touch on something that you said earlier, I think we do share like very similar like viewpoints on like, okay, if we're not getting along, we're not really sexually like attracted to each other, or we're not in that mode. But for me, I think like I can get over things a little bit faster than she can. So if we argue in the morning and then now it's later in the evening and we've been getting along, having lots of laughs and stuff like that, like I'm okay with like, to me that was in the morning. I'm okay with like us being sexual now, but she'll say things like, well, we haven't even been getting along and stuff like that. And then like sometimes I will feel like, well, dang, it's not a reward, you know,
Right.
like how she said, well, it's not, you know, she's like, I don't look at it like a reward, but sometimes it feels like it's being treated as one. If like, I don't think, of course, I'm not the type of person that wants to have sex like in the moment of arguing, and some people are like that. But I feel like if there's a good amount of time that has gone by, like we should be able to
Have sex?
like still be romantic if we've been getting along for the past like 5 hours.
Right. But I guess this isn't.
Agreed.
I might have to agree with her on that one. You know what I'm saying? Because what is the point of prolonging? You know what I'm saying?
You're reverting it back.
You
Like,
were-
so why
exactly.
was you chilling with me the whole day, but then to bring it back to
Laughing
what we just had this morning is
you
frustrating.
exactly. So it's like if I'm coming to you and I'm trying to be intimate with you, and you know that we've been going through something, but we didn't had a great day. This is a good, you know what I'm saying, icebreaker or whatever. For you to sit up here and say, well, we ain't been getting along, that seems to me that you just don't want to fuck me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that.
right.
That's what it feel. That's what it would feel like. So I would understand why Natalie would probably feel that way, because it's like, bro, we just have finished. We ate. You know what I mean? We just, you know what I mean? We done got along all day.
The sun done set it.
The
and
sun done
everything.
said it. I mean, we over here smooching, and then the moment I go and try to touch that thing, you talking about, but hey, we ain't worked it out. Nah, bro, something ain't right. Yeah, it is. That's just how I would feel.
something that you can put a we label on.
Yeah.
Because you might feel that way.
Right.
And also to resolution, sometimes you could feel resolved. And maybe that's because
True.
Ezee apologized to you. But in return, maybe she doesn't feel resolved. And so what you could move on about, because you're like, what are you talking about? We ended it. For you, maybe it didn't end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be the case.
That is the case a lot of the time.
Or do you feel like you're the kind of person who just stays in a stank mood for a long period of time?
No, I think that I can hold, not a grudge, but it's just like if I'm affected in a big way, you know what I'm saying? It's not that we just argued about freaking who can choose what food it is. It's like an argument sometimes where it's like, yo, like this is could be detrimental to our relationship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just get over that, you know, or my feelings being ignored. I'm not going to continue to feel like I'm not being heard in this relationship. And because I feel that way, and you're not catering to that feeling, it's like, how am I going to be sexually like, or how am I supposed to be sexual right now, or you know what I'm saying, or try to have sex, you know? So I'm not in that mode when I feel like you don't cater to my feelings, you know.
And see, just right here, this is where the difference or the breakdown is gonna be, because see, she's usually different. She's usually used to dating men that is gonna have a completely different emotion when it comes down to break up, make up, or you know what I'm saying, sex in the middle of a situation. Her situation might not have lasted that long with a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because let's be real, it's not going to be emotionally based. The way that men share their emotions is going to be completely different. Sometimes they make up through sex. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? Because they don't know how to talk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. And Ezee is a woman. So emotionally, she's looking for something completely different.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's more of an intimacy more than being, you know, than fucking me. So that's where Natalie just dating a girl could have some problems. Yep.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
There's a couple of quizzes that I want to suggest right now that I think, first and foremost, let me just frame this discussion by saying there's really good news and then there's really bad news here.
Okay.
The really good news is that this is so common that
Yeah.
when we get to a place in a relationship, especially multi-hyphenate relationships, friends, business partners, lovers, homies, dog walkers for each other, you do everything together, right? We can start out with high passion, but eventually that passion turns more into a companionship. And that's the goal of love in general. You want to get to a place where you are now locked in. That's where commitment takes place. But there's a trade-off that happens in that balance, because now I know you so well and I can rely on you so much that thrill and excitement is gone, because that passion phase is really based on the unknown.
Yes.
Yeah.
The more you get to know someone, the less that you don't know, so the less that there is that sort of adrenaline rush when that person walks around. So
Yeah.
that's the good and the bad news, is that you've now moved into a stage of your relationship where
Right.
you have a deeper level of commitment, you have more responsibilities together, you have to rely on each other for a lot more, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
But the downside is that the passion doesn't become this automatic thing anymore. It becomes something that you have to intentionally work for. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you've made
Like they said in The Best Man, you got to preserve it and you got to nurture it. You know what I mean? For real. But I mean, honestly
Shan
speaking,
speaking.
she is, and she's making a lot of sense because it is going to definitely be a trade-off because you want to be able to have all of these things as a couple. That's going to require you to work. It's going to require money for you to ascertain those things. They just bought a beautiful ass house.
Yes,
you know what I mean? That house came from many nights of no fucking but working, you know what I mean? So the trade-off is you get the house that you want. Now you just got to be able to fill it up with something else other than work, you know what I mean, or whatever. And I don't feel like this is uncommon at all. I feel like this shit me and my wife talk about all the time, you know what I mean? So it lets me know that it happens. So yeah, man, the thing is, the good thing,
great though, like their business, their work ethic is great. Like we wouldn't even known that they was going through stuff if they didn't ever make this little.
No, you can kind of tell they've been a little crunchy.
Well, I mean, yeah,
you ain't been watching it, but you can tell they've been a little crunchy or whatever. But however, though, you know what I'm saying, it's not like it's uncommon. The great thing is this, you know what I'm saying, anything can be worked out when you both want it. When you both want it, y'all both here, you both want to be able to open up, you both want to fix it. So this is a good thing right here.
Good start.
That adjustment to now intentionally working to create that passion rather than just expecting it to be there?
I feel like in a lot of ways we just kind of expect it to be there. I don't think that we've put in adequate work towards keeping that passion alive. I think that some other issues that we have in our relationship, like, are things that we like to consider like our non-negotiables, where it's like, okay, I need this in a partner and she needs this in a partner. I think those things we have like put in a lot of work towards, where it's just kind of is a cycle. Like it'll get better for a while and then the same topic continues to come up. But I definitely feel like we could put more effort towards like keeping the passion and romance alive. It's just a little bit hard to do that when we're having a hard time getting along because of those non-negotiables.
Yeah, and I think that we don't intentionally, all of the things that we already are going through, it's like it's hard when you're just working. You know what I'm saying? You're just working. You're not catering to the relationship. You're not catering to even yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like intentionally putting in that sexual effort and complimenting each other and stuff like that, we just don't do it enough. And as we are here, you can see that. You know what I'm saying?
So if we broke this down to kind of like 3 different buckets, bucket 1 is just general communication that makes me feel disrespected or unloved.
Right.
And obviously you respect each other and you love each other. So the great news is that all you got to do here is be mindful of what triggers your partner and avoid that language. So when you say, you know, Weezy gets frustrated with you really easily, what are some of the languages or things that she does that you're like, hey, it would mean a lot to me if you, even though you're comfortable with me, instead of just coming to me automatically and correcting me or giving me that tone, I would actually appreciate if you gave me more grace and patience in these areas.
I think that I'm very much like tone sensitive. I don't really want people to talk to me with an attitude, let alone yell at me. You know, I've been like that since I was little. Like I would get, if my mom would yell at me or a teacher would yell at me, I'd start crying immediately. Like I just, I don't like that. And I think that's kind of like, she'll call it passion when she's speaking to me. And sometimes I'm like, I just don't.
That's so crazy because that's like us.
Yeah, I don't like being yelled at either. Like that's one
And
thing
see,
I don't.
as you know, you can hear me right now. My voice elevates. So it's like if I'm like passionate about something, the octave will change. And it would sound like you going crazy, but in all actuality, you're not. And then your mate will be like, stop yelling at me. Then it makes you even more mad because you like, I'm not fucking yelling. You know what I'm saying? So like I can understand. I can understand that.
Like I'm with
I shut
you,
down. Like I don't
Natalie.
respond well
cried too.
to
I don't
like anybody raising their voice at me or coming at me with like a certain tone. That would be something that I'd appreciate if you didn't do. Or like even like cussing when we're upset. Like I would like for us to practice not doing that. Like not cussing at each other or, you know, being super offensive, like calling each other names, like those type of things. Like I feel are not necessary if you're really.
Now I feel like the name calling. I wish you would ever call me a fucking name.
Nah, but
like,
you know it.
Yeah,
but listen, you know what's y'all know I'm silly, so don't be at me in the comments. But because when I look at like I see a sweetheart, shawty, but she is from Cali. Let me find out. Ezee go nip on them. Bitch, I said.
Stop it. You're
No,
so
I'm just
silly.
playing, but no, we ain't gonna make it all tight all in here.
No,
you know what I
we
mean?
not, we not.
But
You
no,
ain't gonna
but I
laugh,
could
but-
never imagine Ezee getting that mad and
But,
saying
I mean,
anything out of
why
context.
would she mention the name calling? Somebody was throwing.
Yeah,
some names
that's what make me say like, damn, Ezee don't look like the
Or
type
unless
that would
it's
go,
her
what's
calling-
up?
Right, unless it's Natalie.
No,
calling
it's definitely
names.
Ezee because if you look at how the screen is paused right
Look
now,
at- right,
Ezee
goddamn.
trying
Her
so
throat's
hard to
tight.
hold
Her
in.
throat's tight.
She like, let me try to just hold in this crazy real quick. So, bitch, no, I'm just playing.
Kidding.
Trying to communicate with your partner and not just like be offensive.
I would love, because we're not going to accomplish, and again, we're not in a therapy session here, and we're covering a lot in a short space of time. But what we're trying to just accomplish is like, what are the areas and the potential for growth, the opportunities for growth? And that's an opportunity for growth right there. So I just
Right.
want to know, because you can't fix this in a day. It could take years to curb those things because
Right.
obviously that reaction, those emotional reactions might be learned behavior from childhood even. So that's work that you have to dedicate to doing by yourself. So I would just love if in this moment you could reflect back to Natalie what you just heard
Yeah.
and what your intentions are given what she just said.
My intentions are never to make you feel like I'm attacking you. You know what I'm saying? So like when I am speaking passionately and I'm feeling some heightened emotions, I know it can come off aggressive, and I want to cater to you being tone sensitive and stuff like that. So, I want to make sure that I'm being aware of the way that I'm speaking to you, catering to that emotion, so you know that I actually care. And I'm actually taking what you're saying into consideration and wanting to do better for this relationship. That way we can get to moments to, even if we are arguing, it can be like, wow, she's being very sweet, and it can even turn somewhat sexual,
I think in order for change to happen, you have to change more than just your mind.
Yeah.
Right, like that's anything else in life. I can't just decide like I want to get in better shape today. I've got to change lifestyle. I got to change habits. I got to put a plan in action to follow through with that.
Yeah.
So because one of the harder things to change is the way that we react when we're emotionally triggered, because we go into fight or flight, and that's a very automatic system.
Yeah.
So in order to ensure that you don't snap at your partner, what other changes are you willing to make good on the promise you just made verbally?
I think other changes that I can make is just, I think, meditating more. You know what I'm saying? Like, to keep that calmness and awareness is something that I like to do is mirror practices. You know what I'm saying? And those things help me be a way more calm person. You know what I'm saying? So I think
I like them choices. Nah, but Ezee, we going somewhere else. You gotta put Nat head through the wall. It's what she need. You know what I mean? She need to be thug, Ezee. You know what I mean? So everything that we doing from this moment forward, shawty, you putting legs to the ceiling, my dog. Cause that's all it is. That's all she want, dog. She want the old back. Yeah, it is. Bring the back. Yeah, it is. That's what she want, my nigga. Meditate after that.
Sound like you gonna make
I
it.
really have to work on
Like,
myself before I can give all that to you, and making that action. So hopefully, does that answer the question? Or
Yeah, is therapy something that you engage in alone or have thought of engaging alone? If anger outbursts are something that you're like, oh, I do that and I don't like that I do that.
yeah, I've tried it, and I think it was very beneficial. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, I don't know, it's just with therapists are just like, it's like they don't get there. They don't give you but they're also just a regular human, so they can't give you all of the answers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to do the work yourself too. So I think it's helped so much, and I've changed so much drastically. So a lot of things that she has said and mentioned, I've changed drastically. Therapy could help, but I feel like it's not that big enough to where it's like, all right, I could do this with her, the therapy sessions together.
And you feel like meditation is that solo practice you can do by
Yeah.
yourself. There's things that within your own control.
Yeah,
And that's actually really helpful.
yeah.
Yeah, because I just also want to bring one thing up too as well. It's just like, because sometimes, man, you want to get therapy, you want to get the work, but you don't want to contort yourself so much to where you feel like you're making all of these changes just for the benefit of somebody else's happiness. I mean, it's things that you want to probably change and things you want to make strides in. Of course, you want to make your significant other happy, but if you feel like you got to make like lifestyle, just complete changes that's altering who you are on the inside, then dog, I don't really think that's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got to have your own independence, and you want to be in a relationship, but you also want to be as close to being yourself as possible. So don't just change for Natalie, or don't just change because you think that's what Natalie wants. Change because those are changes you really want to make, because you want to make the shit work for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But don't let
for your lifestyle.
don't let nobody be the reason why you contort yourself to when you look in the mirror, you don't even know yourself no more. It's like, nah.
Does that feel like a satisfactory plan to you?
Yeah. I feel like if it is something that like you actually, stick to and can be like consistent with, I think it would actually really help, because I have noticed like when you are taking more time for yourself, like emotionally and mentally, and just like creating like a peaceful space for yourself, I've noticed like it makes a big difference in how you react to things and interact with me.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about you.
Can't wait.
Let's talk.
Okay, now what are you gonna do?
Well, yeah.
I'm waiting for Shan to ask you.
On the flip side, Ezee also identified that there's ways that you communicate with her that light her fire, that can feel combative or argumentative, that create that need for her to feel like she has to raise her voice to you. So are you aware, when you heard her say that, did that feel like that was truth to you? Are you aware of that?
That I can be argumentative sometimes. Yeah, I definitely would say I can agree that I can be argumentative.
I know she does.
Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth. If you were to kind of re-express, for you, like, what's the thing in your day-to-day communication that you're like, I kind of want to see this change?
Yeah. I feel like something that I complain about the most in this relationship is my feelings being heard. I think that with her, I have to be gentle, and the things that she says, like, it's not that it's like a never. So when she's like, all right, be soft, be this, be that, I'm like, okay, I can do those things. But when it comes to my needs and my feelings and being heard, they aren't reciprocated. There's always a but. There's always a because. There's always, well, maybe you shouldn't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it feels like my feelings are being belittled 90% of the time in this relationship, to where it's just like, dang, like every time she expresses herself and what she feels, a lot of the times it can be an argument, but a lot of times it's like, okay, I hear you. I feel like majority of the times I express my feelings, it always ends up in an argument. You know what I'm saying? And that sucks to feel like, dang, all right, how should I express myself and my feelings in this relationship without it getting into an argument, even though it's me expressing myself,
You know what's crazy? Because I don't know them. You know what I mean? I mean, it's hard to really know somebody through 8-10 minute videos or whatever, but for some reason, I can see that in Natalie. I can see Natalie, like Ezee going to Natalie and probably being triggered by something. And trying to express herself, and Natalie would completely take that as Ezee is trying to just like dog her, instead of it being like, damn baby, I did what? Like how I know Ezee would do that. Like if Natalie was to go to her, she'd be like, damn baby, you know what I'm saying? I could see her being that, but I can also see like Ezee going to Natalie, and Natalie kind of making it feel it feel more like criticism. Than Ezee just expressing how she feels. Gotcha. And sometimes people have a tendency to do that. You know what I mean? Or whatever, because like I just want to feel like I can express myself. But in me expressing myself is not taking shots at you. Can we not talk about you? Is it about me right now? You know what I'm saying? So if I'm telling you how I feel, don't take this as a moment to be like, well, oh my God, I thought I was doing everything I was supposed to do. Can you shut up? You know what I'm saying? This is not about you right now. This is about my feelings. And if you could just sit and listen to me, you just may understand where I'm coming from, instead of just reacting to react. You know what I mean? And I could kind of see that with Natalie.
And that's where it typically goes. How is it that you're upset about, you're arguing with me about what I feel? Instead of just not justifying, but understanding and catering to that feeling, And that is a huge, huge reason why, like, this part of our relationship affects me romantically.
I want to gloss over that, and then I want you to get more specific, because I think what Natalie did for you just now is gave you something very tangible and actionable that you can work on.
Okay.
Which is good and helpful. But you're saying, when I give you things to work on, the way that you respond doesn't give me confidence that I can be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I also kind of want to know what specifically is something that you're like, yeah, when I say this is what I want to focus on.
Man, we know y'all got ADHD, so we gonna make sure that we break this into 2 parts, and we gonna head over to part 2 in just a second. But for the first part of this video, I kind of feel like this was a very, very good video. I think the person who they're talking to, Shamboudry, right? Shamboudry. You know what I mean? I feel like I feel like she's,
Shan,
you know what I mean? I feel like she's really good at what she's doing. I love that it's not a biasness there, and you can tell. I think a little bit at the end of where we just stopped, though, it seemed like Natalie a little aggravated. It seemed like she's a little aggravated. You know what I mean? But the good part is, I'm happy that underneath the relationship, Ezee and Natalie has a friendship first. So we already know no matter what, they're gonna be okay. But I want to see them. I'm rooting for them as a couple, and I know that it can be done. It can be very, very complicated when your first relationship with a girl is so public. You know what I mean? Because everything is just captured on tape, so it's just really crazy. But I like the video so far. What you think?
I think it was very informative. Shan is doing an awesome job, and I don't know, I just love Ezee and Natalie's energy and their honesty right now. Like, I think it's a beautiful thing. A lot of people go through that. A lot of couples go through that. So I just want to give them a big, like, hand clap, like, for even doing that, because I know it's not easy.
What's one of the takeaways you got so far?
I don't know. I guess, like, one of the takeaways I got so far is just, like, the communication. Like, I think it's, like, being honest with your partner and communicating with your partner, like, is a big thing.
I think one of my biggest takeaways that I got so far is that I think sometimes we got to learn to communicate with our ears more than our mouths. You know what I'm saying? So, so look, we about to be over there in part 2. Meet us over there. Make sure before you head off this video, man, you done watched all these ads, you done liked the video, and you done commented in the comment section. Go ahead and do all that stuff.
Before you head over to part 2.
All right, we'll see you there. Peace.